I will call the Woodman Hills Metropolitan District regular board meeting for November 16th, 2023 to order at, I've got 5:41 or 17:41 for military folks. We have a heavy agenda tonight. Item 2 will be roll call.
John Martin, present.
Kelsey Ives, present.
Troy Stinson, present, and by
Stacy
phone.
Popovich, present.
That gives us 4, which is a quorum. Sherry is out of town this evening.
Me too.
I know. I think she's in Vegas, though. She's probably having more fun.
Yeah, I'm in New York.
Oh, definitely having more fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Item 3, director disclosures.
No conflicts.
No conflicts, I like it. And item 4 will be approval, disapproval of the agenda. And we do have 3 additions to the agenda. They'll fall under executive session that are not on the paper copy, and that's will be an item consolidation with Falcon Highlands Metropolitan District, a memorandum of understanding with Falcon Area Water and Wastewater Authority, an intergovernmental agreement with Four-Way Ranch Metro District, all of which will fall under negotiations. And I will motion we approve the agenda with those items added.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, first, second was John. Any other discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
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 And are there any additional disclosures on the added items to the agenda?
No.
No.
Motion carries. All right, item 5, be president's welcome. I'm just going to keep it short. Thank you for Raftalis being here again, and you guys making the drive down, and the guy with the laptop and the phone over there recording. Welcome back, Wally. Those watching at home, and David, thank you for coming in tonight. We won't beat you up too bad. Just bad enough. But thank you all for being here tonight. This, unless any other board member has any objections to it, this will be our last meeting of the year. We will not have a December meeting. Keep everybody free for the holidays coming up. It's been a very busy and long year, and I don't anticipate that 2024 is going to be any slower. So we're probably going to pick up, hopefully we can pick up a downhill pace at least, instead of not building. So with that being said, does somebody want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Aye.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, John. All right. We'll go to item 6, will be public comment regarding current board business not on the agenda. Is there any, I don't think we have anybody public comment. Seeing no one and hearing no one, there is no one. All right. That is going to lead us straight to item 7, which will be executive session for determining positions relative to matters, relative to personnel matters pursuant to CRS 246402-4FI, namely employee compensation, and for the purposes of discussing position relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations pursuant to CRS 246402-4E, namely memorandum of understanding with Falcon Area Water and Wastewater Authority and an intergovernmental agreement with Four-Way Ranch Metro District Number 2, and for the purpose of receiving legal advice pursuant to CRS 24-64024B, namely consolidation with Falcon Highlands Metropolitan District, the 2024 district rates and fees, and the intergovernmental agreement with Cherokee Metro District. So I'll make a motion, we enter executive session.
Second.
Second by John. Any other discussion before we enter? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now in executive session.
Okay.
All right, we're now back in public session. Now you can talk amongst yourselves for a couple minutes. But we have to also remember Stacy's on, I believe, East Coast time right now. So,
I sure am.
She,
It's 11:15.
we have a quorum
We
without
do.
you, so do we really need her to stay online?
only if you want to vote on budget or any of the other items.
Oh,
on
well,
here.
yeah, that's you, so.
Yeah, so that's why I'm waiting.
Just let me know what time.
Putting my calendar, I'll, give me 40 hours before and then.
Okay. Item 8, we're on item 8. Approval, disapproval of prior meeting minutes. We should be able to run through a lot of this pretty quick.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Got a motion-
Second.
Motion by Stacy, second by John. Any other discussion on them? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Motion carries. Item 9, approval or dispute approval of the financials.
I'll make a motion to approve the financials as written.
All right, we got a motion by Stacy, I'll second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Item 10, attorney's report.
The only thing I'll call out for the board is that all inclusions have been approved by the court, and the special warranty deeds allocating water to the district have been recorded with the county.
Sweet. Thank you. All right, item 11 will be the consent agenda. Are you
Yeah.
gonna go?
I'm going to go through these really quickly just to kind of for the public's information on what each of these documents are. The 2024 administrative resolution, this just designates who handles certain administrative functions, such as drafting the budget amendment and recording the budget amendment, and things of that nature. The records retention schedule, so this would align the district's policy with the state policy for non-permanent records for retention. The collection resolution essentially puts in place the district's current process for certifying delinquencies with the county. Authorization of the Special District Association Colorado membership for 2024. Kurt mentioned this wasn't normally on the agenda, but just as normal process, we added for the board approval. Approval of workers' compensation cover with Colorado Special Districts. The board members are paid, so that needs to be approved. Ratification of the 2020 annual report. The district service plan requires an annual report be filed with Department of Regulatory Agencies each year. This was actually approved. Sorry, this was drafted and recorded back in March, I believe, but we didn't ratify it. So this is simply for ratification purposes. And then the ICA with Terragenesis, which handles the biosolid transportation, that has already been approved under the district's procurement policy. So this is also just for ratification.
All right, the first one,
Administrative resolution.
in there, it says manager, 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 manager.
Is that the, let me spot check.
I think that's the one, isn't it?
Yes, that should be the one. It should, I thought I'd updated that to reflect that being Carter for finance administration. I'll take a look at that.
Rather than manager, it should say director. We don't have managers.
Correct. It should be Carter's title on that, Director of Finance Administration. I'll spot check that though. So we'll approve that one subject to final revision.
All right, I'll motion we approve the consent agenda items.
I'll second.
Second by Kelsey. Any other discussion on consent agenda items? None heard, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Look at that, we're on item 12. All right, which will be, I will now open up the, I don't think we need a motion into it, do we?
Yeah, motion to a public hearing.
A motion that we enter public hearing for the 2024 budget.
I'll second.
Second by Stacy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, budget hearing is now open. Anyone to speak? No one to speak.
Troy, do you want me to use this time to talk about some of the changes to the budget since the first iteration?
So technically, when we open the hearing for the floor, it's ideally for the public to
Okay.
comment.
Right.
So maybe close the hearing for the floor and then.
And then we can go into 13 and you can do your presentation when we're getting ready to motion to approve or disapprove. So I'll make a motion, we close the public hearing for the 2024 budget.
Second.
Second by John. Any other discussion on it? None heard. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, motion carries. Budget hearing is closed. And now we'll go to item 13 for consideration for approval of the resolution adopting the 2024 budget and appropriating the funds for 2024.
So the resolution will just be the formal document and the numbers in it will be what Carter is presenting now.
So this is just a overall summary by each enterprise and the total district. So looking at total revenue, total expenses, and CAPEX projects. So any questions about overall summary? Is there any particular area you would like to go a little deeper dive into?
I'm good. We've reviewed.
The only thing I do want to do a little deeper dive into is the CAPEX. So if there's no questions about revenue or expenses, across the board, we'll go into the CAPEX discussion. So CAPEX, this is new from the last time. So I'll let Marcus talk about this one. This is the covered walkway at RCE.
Yeah, we got hammers involved, looked at what it would take to do a covered walkway to connect. They won't physically connect on the buildings, they'll be separated, but it'll give shelter between the two facilities. So when you're walking from RCE into the gymnasium, it'll be covered, it'll be lit, it'll be the same color as the two buildings. So that's hammers total, and that was engineering fees and all that to do that.
And that was 160,000?
So it's 149,000 this is the actual quote. What I put in the budget, I always like to go over in order to ensure there's there's change orders, we can cover it. So in the budget, I have it set at 160 to give us a little bit of that runway.
And I think the original plans for that building included a covered walkway, and it was a little over 200 grand, I believe.
Yeah, we're still doing some dialogue. I'm still putting together a big picture. So probably next year we'll have better plans to give us some time for hammers to see what it would take to connect, because I still want to connect the dots and find out the history of that project. There's still some questions if they're helping me out.
They have the original plans, so.
Yep, I'm dealing with the architect that was doing it, so. He just needed more time to have that component in to give us an option, so we went with this for now.
The only other item that changed from the initial one was this tank replacement. So this year, board approves 1.5. Based off of quotes that we're getting back, it is looking like it's going to come in higher. So added an additional 500,000 to that budget. So 1.5 that was already appropriated, an additional 500,000 that we would put into this tank replacement. So that's the 1 million gallon tank that's going to go at there. And then what I also did down here that is new is our line of credit distributions. So we have our second payment for the Younger Water purchase, which will happen in January. So that's this sum of money. We have our initial capital contribution to FAWA at $2 million. So looking at 5.6 million of the line of credit distribution. So balance as of 10/31, because we haven't actually spent any of that money yet, was a little over 10 million. So here's what you need to know. The original balance was actually under 10 million, but because of the way I structured it, that money has been living in a interest-bearing account. And so we have earned well over 6 figures in interest by doing it this way. And so we've actually got our balance over 10 million, which the initial line of credit was 10 million. So that's really good. You take out our contribution that we'll pay towards Younger this year. We'll close on that hopefully beginning of December. That's another 3.3. So really at the end of next year, with all these distributions, you're still gonna have well over $1 million in that interest-bearing account that we'll have for future water projects. So this is in addition to all of the capital expenditures that we have up here. Any questions about any of the CAPEX projects? A lot of them are carryovers. There's very few you can see in that column that are new. So that's all I have for the budget. So the total funds that we're looking to appropriate would be in this last column. So 12.5 million in expenses plus the 12.5 million CAPEX. So those two lines together, the total funds for appropriation to be spent. Any questions?
We would just ask that this resolution be adopted subject to final legal revision, just plugging those numbers into the resolution.
Understood. I'll motion that we approve the resolution to adopt the 2024 budget, appropriate 2024 funds with those numbers being added to it.
I'll second.
Second by Stacy. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, item 14, consider for approval a resolution regarding revised 2023 charges and fees.
And we're not gonna have any.
Strike that.
Okay, perfect.
We're not gonna have any.
Nope.
Item 15, consider, do we need to table that?
No need.
No need.
Okay.
Item 15, consider for approval a resolution regarding 2024 charges and fees.
So this is the resolution that was in the packet. We just asked that this resolution be approved subject to final legal revisions, specifically plugging in the numbers that we discussed today to go into effect for January 1st, 2024.
So it's the same 2024 rate sheet that we looked at last board meeting. The addition or the changes would be the Paintbrush Hills rate as well as streetlights. We are showing in here that it's actually an increase, but we are going to keep that static at the current 2023 rate. So those are the only two things that are changing from what you initially saw last month.
And so the increase for the rates are set at, water was,
So no rate increase for water. So let's talk about residential first. So residential, you have no rate increase for water across the board on any of those metrics. Wastewater, you are seeing a rate increase of 7% to $54.27. And you are seeing a rate increase for Parks and Rec to $73.03, but no rate increase for streetlights. And then on the commercial side, we are introducing a new rate for a base rate fee for water. And we also are changing the tier structure for consumption to where it's actually broken out into 2 tiers, and there are different rates for each tier. On the wastewater side, there is no base rate, but the volumetric component is increasing as well. And then the system development fees are 1 fee, so we no longer have a tap fee and a system development charge. It is 1 charge called system development charge, and that is increasing for water and Parks and Rec, but not for wastewater. And then the water acquisition fee is also increasing for next year, and that's all development paid.
It's a lot of increases. Thank you, Bidenomics.
Yeah, no kidding.
But the good news is it's putting less of the burden on the residential clients, right? So that's the biggest thing for the public to understand is that, yes, there's a lot of increases that are going on, but the bulk of it is going on to our commercial clients. And that way we are evening the playing field between the cost of service for residential and the cost of service for commercial, and making everybody pay their fair share.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution regarding, or disapprove the resolution regarding 2024 charges and fees.
Second.
Subject to final revision, please.
Subject to final revision.
Still second.
All right, so I'd entertain a motion. I didn't make one. So you're gonna make a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion.
Okay. All right, John made a motion to approve, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
And a second by Stacy. Any other discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No. All right, item 16, discuss investment direction.
So I'll make this just real quick. Interest rates on savings accounts have gone up considerably. So if the district happens to have funds in kind of low interest accounts, there are now several savings accounts that are north of 5%, including Colorado Trust, which your last review I think was at 5.6%, just making the board aware.
Thank you. That it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
No action. Yep.
So Carter,
Yes.
to touch on that, we just actually had to do that over at the fire department. We just actually called the bank that we already banked with, and they increased the savings account, the interest rates on the accounts we already had. So we didn't have to do anything except call and ask for a higher rate.
So the majority of our banks do that automatically. I haven't seen anyone that isn't doing that. The only investment accounts that are kind of locked in are our CDs. So once those renew, then obviously we'll get updated rates.
That's this month, or next month.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we got it.
So I've rolled, so we have a Ladders CDARS account with Adams, and I just continue to roll those over every time they mature. So we get updated rates according to market value at the time that they roll over. But Stacy, I will do a more thorough review of all the other savings accounts just to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Perfect.
All right, any other discussion on item 16? Good. Item 17, discuss implementation of accessibility standards for individuals with disability for information technology systems employed by the district.
So this is just to make the board aware that starting July 1st of 2024, there are new standards for government entity websites. We're currently working on a process for auditing these, and we'll have additional documentation early next year. but it's gonna be a little bit of heavy lifting on whoever maintains the website. Documents will need to be uploaded in specific formats, videos will need caption, a lot of things of that nature, and it's gonna require someone to maintain the website who's very sophisticated in handling those types of web design issues. So we'll have more information starting next year, but just wanted to put this on your radar.
You got all that, Daniel?
I don't know if
I've got a good guy.
I heard sophisticated.
I hear upgrade of WordPress is what I hear.
Thank you. All right, item 18, Grandview Lift Station update.
All right, most was talked about in the report, but November 6th, we had a meeting with all the people we need easements for. Mentioned before, we did offer up, anyone affected, they could either take basically the cash value of that easement, or we would offer I say a free sewer tap, but it's not free. D.R. Horton's gonna pay for it. Some people were for it, some were against. There's a little bit of a realignment that's gotta be done. Most people are on board. A couple of them have some properties that, they're trying to work out if they could get like an 8-inch tap, because they have some development they'd like to do. So it offers a little opportunity down the road for extraterritorial, but a little heated, but I think they're gonna be able to get it to work in the location they want. And they're hoping to break ground probably July of next year. And they're gonna build a gravity main going under 24 and a force main from the lift station to the wastewater plant at the same time, which puts us in position to have to be ready to put in that first 3 miles of brine line, which is in CapEx.
All right. Any questions on that? All right, item 19, Park and Rec report.
I'll just keep it real short. Beyond what I sent in, we have started the process of looking at replacing or continuing with ActiveNet. But in that, we found out there was an agreement signed prior to any of us. Gary signed it, where there's, on December 10th of this year, there's a 5-year automatic renewal. And I've been fighting it, and now trying to play nice, so they're taking it to their people. Pretty much the compromise I'm trying to get is a 12-month agreement, so then next December, we'd have a time for a formal RFP process. ActiveNet is certainly able to participate in that, and then we'll review it and do it based on merit. And but either way, we're not going to do an automatic 5-year renewal. That's just crazy.
The gift that keeps on giving. All right, item 20, water report.
So, I was wondering if you had any other questions looking over the report. Just wanted to see if John would take an opportunity, what he thought of the plant, of the tour that he took with me last week.
Well, I was getting ready to do that, so. I went with JD up here to the new plant, Thoriot plant. Pretty cool. I would hope other board members would like to go up there and see what they're building, what's going on. Again, there was part of that was a gift that keeps on giving.
We had seen the pictures. So when you was last there with me, this
Yeah,
is
I
all-
saw the pictures.
This is all completed. There's actually RFP panels in here.
Oh, good.
It's already over that OSB. So they've pretty much gotten most of that ready to go to, and we just delivered the VFDs yesterday. So all the equipment is up there for the electricians to go ahead and start installing this equipment, as well as the electric filters for the 2 wells. And starting pulling wire in there. Transformer is gonna be showing up here in another week, so I figure it's gonna be after Thanksgiving. And so we're probably gonna have power in there. We're probably gonna be able to just start up the pumping side. This is the side right here. It pumps, and I can get off the old transfer building, and I can see a little bit better. And so we'll have a starting of a working station.
I tried to figure out how to get that old building moved in my backyard, but it won't work.
That's all I need. Questions or comments?
Any other questions for JD? Thank you.
Thank you for taking me on that tour. You're welcome. Definitely appreciate your time.
21, wastewater report.
Other than this one there, just want to emphasize that, starting December 11th, we'll be fully staffed on the wastewater side.
About time.
Nice. Like it. Any other questions for or for Wally?
What'd you call me?
I almost said Jerry.
I said outside. Taking on everyone tonight.
No, thank you, Wally.
Item 22, items unfinished from previous meeting. I think we had any of those. Item 23, board follow-up on older items. Crickets. Item 24, other business. The only other, I think we had outstanding eval still. Yours twos are done. Just need to set up time to go over them with you. And I don't know what that looks like right now.
Yours isn't done yet.
And we meet with Carter next Friday.
Man.
Next Friday? That's Thanksgiving, we're not gonna be in the office.
Or no?
No,
Never mind
December.
that.
That's
December.
December 1st,
The
wasn't
day
it?
after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah,
JD,
'cause
just
I won't,
read it for 'em.
I won't be there.
Better get my ducks in a row.
We'll get those cleared up and get them out and get out with you guys, so make sure we get everybody taken care of, here within the next couple weeks. Fingers crossed. Any other business? All right, item 25, right? There will be no meeting in December unless somebody needs one. I'm not intending on having a December meeting. Everybody enjoy the holidays. Take care of the staff, the people, families. This was enough of a marathon tonight. Thought we got away from these for a while, but this closes out 2023. Without anything else, thank you guys for a great year, really. Keep up the good work.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion we adjourn.
Motion by John, I'll second by myself. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are.
Thanks for bringing board checks.
Good night, Stacy, thank you.